The Martian sent one into orbit in the bottom of the ninth inning for the Yankees' first walk-off home run since 2022, when Giancarlo Stanton did it in September of that season as the Yankees improved to 10 games above 500, 29-19, with a 4-3 victory over the Texas Rangers on Wednesday night. The Yankees come from behind, scoring a run in each of the final 3 innings to overcome a 3-1 deficit to win 4-3. And there are a lot of things to talk about coming from tonight's game, including both starting pitchers. But we will start where the game ended, and that is with Jasson Dominguez absolutely crushing a baseball 399 feet into right center field as he just absolutely mashed that baseball off of Texas closer Luke Jackson, who came in to get the final out of the ninth inning while also allowing a run in that scenario as well. So, final run in the eighth inning, out of the eighth inning where he allowed a run. And we'll talk about how that all happened as well. But this was a really refreshing victory for New York because we have seen them win in a number of different facets throughout the season. But coming into this game, they were at what we believe to be, and on paper was, a distinct starting pitching disadvantage. You have Jacob deGrom, who is having a sensational season so far, Hall of Fame caliber pitcher. I don't know if he's going to get there because of all the time he missed due to injury, but this is a player that when he is healthy gives you Hall of Fame, multi-time Cy Young caliber pitching. And he pretty much did so in this game as well. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, 2 earned runs. His ERA for the season is 2.33 with a whip under 1. And really, he didn't really give up much. He got that first run that he gave up in the bottom of the second inning, Anthony Volpe triples, but Sam Haggerty was half step, quarter step maybe away from making the catch. The ball goes off his glove, which results in a triple. So obviously he doesn't dive for that. There's probably not a chance that Volpe scores. He ends up getting a triple. DJ LeMahieu grounds out to second base to get Volpe across. And then obviously Cody Bellinger in the bottom of the 7th got him real good as he continues to stay hot. He hit his 8th home run of the year. But in between those 2 Yankee runs, there were 3 solo shots by the Texas Rangers. Jake Berger hit 2 of them. Sam Haggerty hit 1 as well. And the Yankees walked into the 7th inning down 3-1 and were able to score, as I mentioned earlier, 1 in the 7th on that Cody Bellinger home run, 1 in the 8th on a really interesting play that I'll talk about here in a second, and obviously the walk-off in the 9th. But let's talk about how the Yankees tied the game in the 8th inning, because I know there was some confusion because the play that tied the game also resulted in the 3rd out of the inning, so I think there was a little bit of confusion about the value of what happened there. Paul Goldschmidt came in, pinch hit. Goldschmidt walked. Grisham walked. And then what ends up happening is as Judge comes to the plate to face Luke Jackson with runners on first and second, and he singles on a hard single to left field, Wyatt Langford. But with the runners moving, this allowed Paul Goldschmidt to round third and head for home. And it also, in this case, Trent Grisham rounds second. And why this is important here is if Trent Grisham holds up at second, there is likely a play at the plate on Paul Goldschmidt. And if you look at the replay, I'm not certain that, you're trying to project, obviously, because it's not what actually happened on the play. I'm not certain that Goldschmidt necessarily gets in to tie the game. It would have been a close play. So what Grisham is doing as he rounds second to head to third is he forces the fielders in the infield to make a decision about whether or not they're going to cut off the baseball, and they do. And so the decision to cut off the baseball, well before Goldschmidt touches home plate, by the way, allows Goldschmidt to score. And what Trent Grisham does is he immediately, once he sees the ball is cut off in the infield, he stops running to third, because now you are just a race against the clock. You are going to be out on this play. You know that. The only thing you're worried about is making sure Paul Goldschmidt's cleats hit home plate before you get tagged out. And so Trent Grisham, about a few feet away from third base, stops running and starts slowly heading back the other way before getting tagged out to ensure that Paul Goldschmidt touches home plate to tie the game. So, as I mentioned on my Twitter, if you didn't see it, at Jamie Eisner, by the way, it might look like a toot blonde by Grisham. You might be like, what is he doing? Why is he rounding third? Why does he get the out there? You got to keep the inning going. That is a play that forces one of two things to happen. If the ball is going to come home, then Grisham gets to third base easily. And at that point, you're either the runner's out at home and Grisham going from second to third doesn't matter anyway, or the runner is safe at home and you've now advanced the runner from second to third. And again, there are more ways to score from third than there are from second. So there's no bad play there. The optimal scenario, well, I guess the optimal scenario is that, he goes to third and the runner scores at home. But the optimal scenario, if you're Grisham there and within this game situation, is that you must tie the game in that spot. That is the goal. At the minute that Goldschmidt rounds third and heads to home, the only thing that matters is that he scores. Everything else is secondary at that point. So Grisham forcing the infield to make that decision and to cut off the ball, which then immediately means there is a no play at home, which means you tie the game and you extend the game. And the Yankees were able to extend the game. They got a lot of help from Luke Weaver to come in and hold the fort down in that top of the ninth inning. And then the second batter in the bottom of the ninth was Jasson Dominguez, who clobbered it out of the park. So just really a solid victory all around. I love what the Yankees did there to find their way back into this game late, to claw and scratch their way one run at a time to victory when you were down multiple runs heading into the bottom of the seventh inning. But I also don't want this to get lost in the shuffle because of the walk-off fun. Ryan Yarbrough was excellent tonight. Excellent. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, no walks, 8 strikeouts, a season high, 1 earned run. He gave up a home run to Jake Berger, but excellent tonight. And, as somebody that it's been a while since he last pitched because of the way the Yankees are using their rotation and the fact that they're kind of using Yarbrough was as a spot starter, but actually as a regular starter here. This was his 3rd start of the year for the Yankees. He gives them the 5 innings they needed him to give them, and he was excellent. And he went pitch for pitch in a very different fashion. You've seen 69-mile-an-hour sweepers and 86-mile-an-hour fastballs, but he went pitch for pitch with Jacob deGrom. And when he left the game, it was 1-1. And I think if you would have asked any Yankee fan in that moment, would you take, through 5 innings, Ryan Yarbrough equaling Jacob deGrom? I would have, for sure. So he was absolutely excellent in this game. Really made the Rangers look silly on some of his pitches. His changeup was really, really good in this game. Phenomenal start from him. Jonathan Loaisiga, little bit of hit or miss. Didn't love what I saw from the bullpen for most of this game outside of Luke Weaver, who was really good. But Loaisiga, again, didn't allow a run, but worked himself into some danger. Tim Hill worked Loaisiga out of danger and then also gave up a home run to Jake Berger. And I believe now, if I'm going to run the numbers here, I'm gonna do this live on the podcast because I want to make sure I got the right number. He has given up a run in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's given up 5 runs in his last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, in his last 10 appearances. So something just to keep an eye on with him. Obviously, he had back-to-back scoreless outings against the Mets, but this is something that he hasn't quite been as locked down right now as he's been in the past. But Ian Hamilton did not look good. Only got 1 out, gave up a couple of hits and a run, including a home run in this game to Haggerty on the first batter he faced. That's going to be an interesting one because he is one of the few guys they have in their bullpen with an option left, and the Yankees don't have an off day till May 29th. So that's 7 days from now. Or I guess 7 days from the time you're listening to this podcast. 8 days from the time of this game. So I wonder if even just for the flexibility of having a fresh arm in the bullpen, also given his recent struggles, if Ian Hamilton is a case to get optioned at some point in the next handful of days. Going back to May 7th, if you look at his last 6 outings, a third of an inning, 2 runs, 2/3 of an inning, 3 runs, inning, no runs, inning and a third, no runs, 2/3 of an inning, 2 runs, a third of an inning, 1 run. So if I'm doing the math on this really quickly, that's 1 inning, 2.1, 3.1, 4 innings, 4.1. That is 8 runs in his last 4 1/3 innings pitched. So that's not going to get the job done. He's really struggled this entire month. So I would not be surprised if Hamilton gets optioned sometime soon. I don't think it's going to be for long. I don't think it's one of those scenarios where he'll be down there for maybe more than a couple weeks. But I do think, given the struggles that he has faced and the lack of off days that the Yankees have, particularly the fact they're going to have to go on the West Coast now after this game later this afternoon, which we hopefully gets played on time. The weather does not look great. There was some concern the weather would be really bad on Wednesday night, and they got through it just fine without really. I mean, it was cold, but the weather didn't really prevent them from playing baseball at all. There is some concern about the afternoon game today of whether or not that's going to be the same case, but they're going to go on the West Coast with no off days. They got 3 against the Rockies, 3 against the Angels, 3 against the Dodgers. So until they get a day off. So I would not be surprised to see a little bit of a shakeup there at that bullpen spot. But overall, a gutsy effort from this Yankees team to get to where they needed to be to win this game. Aaron Judge's late hit kept them over 400, batting .402. So keep that streak going another day. Bellinger stays hot. Biggest hit of the year for Jasson Dominguez, and overall just a giant gold star. Obviously, this is going to be Jasson Dominguez is going to be the guy that's going to get the picture on the graphic. He's going to be the one that gets the headline here when you listen to this podcast, whether it's on Apple, Spotify, or here on YouTube. But Ryan Yarbrough gets a giant gold star from me. The Yankees don't have an opportunity to win this game without Ryan Yarbrough. And obviously Luke Weaver as well gets a special shout out as well. But the Yankees will go for the sweep of the Texas Rangers later today. They have the first game of the day on Thursday, a 12:35 p.m. start time, with the intention of them starting on time. By the time you listen to this podcast, you may know that the time might change. So hopefully you get to listen to this early. They start on time, they end on time, because it's a long trip to Colorado after the game. So 12:35 p.m. Eastern start time. Nate Eovaldi, who is pitching out of his mind this year, is having another great year. So going from DeGrom to Eovaldi is not going to be any easier for the Yankees starting lineup against Carlos Rodon, who is pitching great right now. So day game, after night game, rough weather, and 2 hot pitchers. That would tell me it's going to be a low-scoring game. So I look forward to this being 10-7. But no, I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, and it would be nice. I know the Yankees have won a few series in a row now, taking 2 of 3, 2 of 3, 2 of 3. Obviously, if they end up not winning this game, it's not the end of the world. But boy, I really would like another sweep here. I feel like that would just give them a ton of momentum heading into a stretch against teams that, it's still tough to play 3 time zones away from home. I guess it would only be 2 time zones for that first series, and we'll talk about the Rockies another time. But it will be great to see the Yankees be able to get the sweep here at home before heading for that extended road trip. And no matter what happens, we will have you all covered here on the Bombers Beat podcast all week long.